All right, welcome back everyone dito sa latest episode ng R&R. We just had the RR the other day. Of course, I'm sure you caught yung live version. Nilalabas natin yung finalized version on Monday after the Holy Week. But I thought while we are in this spiritual reflective mode, magana muna tayo ni Sir Ronald because I think just when I thought magpahinga na tayo kasi I think pagparas tayo, nagre-recover. Ayun, nagbabardagulan na yung mga kaibigan natin. And I'm not even talking about Topacio versus Gucci, Falsis versus Gucci, Fals versus Meow. I'm not even talking about it. I'm talking about yung mga ibang friends natin, including in the academic world. Nagbardagulan din the other day over economics, new liberalism, mga ganun-ganon. And to top it all, mukhang lalala pa yung sitwasyon sa gitnang silangan as flight trackers indicate that we may be moving towards a full-scale ground invasion, which could end up as even a bigger disaster for everyone, especially those who are thinking of getting an easy victory out of this. Kaya to discuss all of these issues, as usual, we have Arnold ng tawag ko sa kanya, hindi na Ronald kasi Schwarzenegger, lahat na lang kaya eh. Kamusta Sir Ronald? Thank you so much for making time. I know nagpapahinga ka at saka makita mo sa boses ko rin, I'm not 100%. Thank you Sir Ronald. Maraming nag-aalala sa'yo kasi pumayat ka daw nung last week nung nag-studio tayo.
Di naman. I'm still yung dati ko pa ring timbang, no?
Ay, you're
Ah,
monitoring yung timbang mo.
Hindi naman ako tumataba, hindi naman pumapayat. Just the same. Aking weight nung college.
What's the secret, Sir Ronald, but the politically correct version and the spiritually encouraging version? How do you keep your weight, Sir Ronald? I mean, you're always lean since I remember.
Think, think clean, think green, think you.
Yan, Sir Ronald. Parang yung post ng Chinese embassy ngayon na may Filipino daw nag-message, thank you to China for being, ano ba, parang may pagkaganon ka,
Sabi
Sir
ng
Ronald.
Chinese Embassy, okay sila sa joint exploration, but we have to show sincerity. O, di ba?
Tayo pang masama
We
ngayon.
left ourselves open for that statement, di ba?
I warned about
Sino
it.
ba,
Sabi ko
sino
talaga.
ba, sino ba nag-isip ng joint exploration na yan?
Feeling ko sa Ronald, I think the president, again, I haven't asked their side, but I think a part of it, kasi kita mo, ang very supportive sa mga moves ng gobyerno natin ngayon ay si Senator Lacson, di ba?
Mm.
Kasi at nakita mo si Senator Lacson, parang mas anti-Trump basher pa siya ngayon kaysa sa'yo.
Mm.
Grabe yung bashing niya, di ba, kay Trump, di ba? So, kutob ko, it was just a way for President Marcos to say, ano ba naman yan? Hindi nyo lang kami pinabayan, naman kami, kawawa naman kami, naipit kami. O ngayon, wala na kaming choice, kailangan na namin kausapin ng China. I mean, maybe I'm imputing too much, but
Mm.
a part of me felt that was really a statement out of frustration or to even signal frustration, and kind of it went down bad. Before we talk about the other Axis powers, no, Russia, Iran, ganun. China muna tayo dito sa West Philippines kasi parang ngayon puro mga comments sa akin, how dare you Philippines ask for our help, blah blah blah. Oh, wait. Ask for your help since when naging tulong na ano ito. Can we talk about this, sir? Ano?
Well, from my vantage point, that was a stupid proposal. No? If I may say so, no? Dapat sisihin mo yung China because if not for their aggression, for their harassment, more than 10 years ago, nakapag-drill na tayo ng oil sa Reed Bank. Di ba? Meron tayong exploration dati ron para tignan. Kasama yata yung isang Norwegian company. Yung Norway kasi expert yan sa drilling eh.
Offshore, yung
So,
offshore, very
oo.
offshore. Oh.
Hindi hindi pinayagan, no? Hindi pinayagan, hinaras, tinaboy, 'di ba? So, dapat sisihin yung China dahil kung natuloy 'yon, by this time baka huma-harvest na tayo ng langis, 'di ba? Ikalawa, historical. Mismo nung panahon ni Digong, the most pro-China government, hindi natuloy yan eh. Bakit? May problema sa kwan eh. Sino ba may majority share? Sino ba may majority ownership kung magkakaroon ng drilling? Diba? Hindi naman papayag ang Pilipinas na China dahil labag yan sa ating konstitusyon. Dapat tayo lang nakikilamang sa ating natural resources eh. 'Di ba? Hindi rin papayag ang China dahil ma-undermine yung kanilang 11 dash line na dineklara ng illegal ng UNCLOS. So yung ikatlo, kung gagawin natin yan, ma-undermine yung ating victory sa UNCLOS kung magkakaroon tayo ng joint exploration sa China. Parang code of conduct yan eh. Ba't ka pipirma ng Code of Conduct sa China na ino-occupy nila yung ating territory? Ang Code of Conduct kasi is forward-looking, which means ino-normalize natin yung kanilang occupation nung kanilang mga artificial islands na practically military bases sa ating EEZ, no? At saka panghuli, paano ka magjo-joint exploration sa isang aggressor, sa isang invader? So, ah dagdag pala, kahit halimbawa magkaroon ka ng joint exploration, kahit na we're so stupid na makikipag-joint exploration tayo sa China, it will take a decade or so
Yeah,
bago
that's what I'm saying. It
ma-accomplish
doesn't
yan.
make sense as a response,
Oo,
actual
oo.
response. It's gonna take years. If
Yes,
assuming
yes,
hindi ma-impeach si
yes,
BBM before even getting.
yes. Kaya tinitingnan ko from different vantage point, it's so stupid. Oh.
Is it also illegal in a sense that we have to advocate impeachment against any Filipino president who
Of
pushes?
course,
Yeah.
of course. Malinaw yung ating konstitusyon, malinaw yung ating laws diyan. Tapos malinaw din yung posisyon ng majority, overwhelming majority ng mga Pilipino. Tapos bigla mo ipopropose yan. Hindi ko alam kung sang hugot yung pinanggalingan ng ating gobyerno.
Yun
Baka
nga
yung
yung hugot, sabi ko, yung hugot is pinahamak tayo ni Trump. Sinara
oh,
yung Strait of Hormuz na pag-usapan natin very shortly.
oh,
Ayan tayo, kawawang-kawawa tayo, state of emergency, hindi natin alam gagawin natin. So siguro it was in that mist and cloud of frustration and all that the
pwede naman
president
gawin
at
yun in a less stupid way. No? Yun naman ang sinasabi ko. Kaya nga naging suspicious ako, baka in-advisean mo eh.
excuse me, between the two of us, ako yung mas maingay nung parang hindi ko. Kasi ikaw underground ka, ako overground. At medyo atmospheric ground din doon. So,
Sabi ko,
excuse me,
si
Sir
Richard,
Ronald.
si Richard ba nag-advise dun sa idiot position na yan?
Excuse me, Sir Ronald. To be clear, I said I will advocate for impeachment of any president. But on this point, Sir Ronald, we should be open potentially to service contract, right? Something that does not acknowledge anyone's but our sovereignty or sovereign rights rather dun sa mga resources. Pag service contract siguro dapat walang issue. Assuming
Well,
papayag
bakit
yung kabila.
legally, baka may mga ganong klaseng mga
Oo.
permutations. Pero, yung elephant in the room, you are being invaded.
Mm.
You're being harassed. Tapos gagawa ka ng service contract. 'Di ba? Yung may kwan muna, meron munang good faith na na dapat gawin ng China. 'Di ba? Yun lang kung sino man 'yan, kahit maging legal 'yan, politically hindi palatable eh. Politically hindi palatable.
And also in terms of communications, no?
Magamit lang
Pakistan.
'yan ng kalaban ng gobyerno eh. No? Yun ang kwan. So, hindi siya gano'n kasimple. It's much more complicated than that because nasa gitna ka ng isang invasion eh. Nasa gitna ka ng isang aggression. No?
But
Tapos,
but
ang
Sir Ronald, let me
kaya
push you on that.
kayo na pa magsasabi na we're not sincere. We're not,
Sila pa yung pakipot ngayon, bigla. No? Sila pa yung pakipot. No, but maybe, unfortunately, they might have sensed vulnerability or desperation. So we might have signaled it in the wrong way, assuming that was really the context, which is still my argument. But, Sir Ronald, doon sa pagkaalam ko at sinulat ko rin yan sa mga libro ko, nung panahon pa ni Pinoy actually,
ka ba na ng libro? Ay,
medyo, ano na Sir Ronald, kasi yung mga libro ko for university and chattering classes.
Hindi mo naman
Unfortunately,
ako, hindi mo naman ako pinapadalhan
kasi
na may
wala, I cannot afford a copy of my own Palgrave Macmillan. I don't know. It's
Ayan,
very
yan, wala naman
expensive.
ako. Palgrave pala eh, oh.
Mahal ang Palgrave, 5,000 pesos. I cannot afford my own
Kung
books.
ka, imbitahin mo ako magsalita. No?
Maliit ang
Don't worry,
royalties
I'll be
namin.
gentle with you. Mm.
Maliit ang royalties namin sa Palgrave, pero ang mahal-mahal. Kaya inatak ako ni sa kaibigan natin sa Manila Times. Aba, yayaman ni Darian, mahal ng book niya. Sabi, buti nga nabasa mo pa ako, hindi pa kasi hindi ko afford. No, but going
Sabi
back
ni
to this,
Ganson, mas marami siyang nasulat na libro kaysa iyo.
I'm not sure counted yung mga, di na ako magsalita. Magpakabait ako. Sir Ronald, magpakabait ako. Basta ako, you can judge a book by its cover literally kung recto lang yan ginawa na ek-ek lang or totoo legit na, medyo international published. But anyway, magpakabait na ako. Sir Ron, ikaw talaga. I was Sir Ron, balikan natin ito.
Ba't
Um,
akong seryoso sa Holy Week eh. Oh.
hindi,
Medyo lighten up. Lighten up, no? It's
I'm lightening up, but you're not allowing me to lighten up. So I will frighten up.
Pasko buhay. Pasko ng pagkabuhay bukas. So, you lighten up, no?
Exactly. We want the resurrection of human enlightenment and all. No, no, but honestly, Sir Ronald,
Hmm.
2011, yung grabing simula ng harassment ng China and all. And one criticism that some people have is, bakit yung mga kapitbahay natin, Vietnam and Malaysia, tumuloy pa rin sila sa kanilang oil exploration and all, pero bakit hindi Pilipinas?
Yes.
Starting with your administration, by the way, because I've been
Yes.
tracking this since 2010, 2011.
Yes, yes. Well, nung kasi noon, yung sa Vietnam at saka sa Malaysia, mas recent yun eh. Hindi naman yun nangyari more than 15 years ago eh. Mas recent yung kanilang ginawa. At nilusob sila ng China. Nilusob sila, tapos tawag dito ay hindi sila umalis. Pero at that time, yung Navy at saka Air Force ng Malaysia at saka Vietnam was definitely much more competitive than us. No? Kung maalala mo, nung uh, 20,
Oh, yung panahon nyo talaga halos wala tayo.
halos wala tayong kanon eh.
You're right. You're
Halos wala tayong frigates na to defend our territory. Ngayon lang tayo nag-upgrade eh. Dahil yung ating modernization napunta lang sa corruption eh. Napunta sa conversion eh. 'Di ba? Yung
Pero sinimulan ni Pinoy yung revised modernity. I mean,
pero
to
nagsisimula pa
give
ito, no?
credit, of course, to Pinoy. God bless him. On that note, I'm very much with Pinoy on AFP
For
modernization.
several decades nasayang yung ating modernization. Kung hindi nasayang, pwedeng kahit lamang pa rin sa atin ng Malaysia at saka Vietnam. Dahil talaga yung Malaysia at saka Vietnam, talaga namimili ng mga kanyan, ng mga advanced fighter jets, 'di ba? Advanced frigates, etc. Tayo naiwan eh. Meron tayo mga Toraptor.
Submarines. Meron silang submarine. Pareho sila. Both have submarine.
We've never had a submarine. No? Yung si
Actually, si
Chubby
Chavez.
Cheekbone,
Si
Chubby
Chavez meron submarine, di
Cheekbone,
ba?
Ilocano.
Yeah. Oh, para sa except yung kaibigan natin ni shout
Oh.
out to Dina De Leon. Oo.
Oo. So, kung naman, okay naman na nasimulan nun, pero it takes time eh. It takes time. Actually, pinagdebatihan niya nung Pinoy government kung bibili ng submarines. Ang alam ko sa usapan nun ay it takes 8 years to train submariners. No? 8 to 10 years. So, hindi yan ganun kasimple. Bibili ka lang ng submarine tapos papaandarin mo na. yung train yung training yung training ng submariners takes almost a decade, no?
At least, no? At
Pero
least.
parang fighter jets, yung mga Top Gun, kanyan, isang dekada training yan. No? Hindi yan journalism or political science. No? So yun lang yung problema. It
Whoa,
could have been done
whoa, whoa,
earlier.
whoa, 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 whoa. Wait. I was checking prices. May discount na pala yung isang libro natin. 46% off na po yung Kindle ng The Indo-Pacific by Palgrave Macmillan. So may nagtanong about yung isang libro ko about Araba pricing. $20 na lang daw ngayon. Ito, Kindle you can have for $16, paperback at only $30.
Oo.
Nag-shoutout na rin tayo sa mga ano natin. Oh, hindi, ito, mahal tong isa, yung Rise of Duterte.
Naman ang dedication, ha?
$68, Sir Ronald. $68. See, sabi ko nga ba, mahal. Hindi ko ma-afford.
Mahal, mahal. Di ako bibili ng ganung libro. Kahit sinulat ng Richard Heydarian. Masyado, masyado
Lalong
mahal.
hindi mo bibilhin dahil sinulat ni Richard Hillarian, di ba?
Ano na, mataas ang dollars ngayon. 62 na.
Exactly. So, medyo abot ng 5,000 pesos. Kaya sabi ko nga,
Pero
halos.
baka makita ko sa book sale.
Hindi nga sinisell. Sa mga libraries, kunin mo, tapos papa-photocopy mo yung ano.
Ah, Ako kupitin sa library. Oo.
Oo. Yeah, wag mo na ibalik ganun. Oo. But Sir Ronald, going back to this, so what? Okay, so China, I think we have an understanding around the fact na unang-una, mukhang nagagamit ito ng China for a propaganda point. Pangalawa, pragmatically, realistically, it's not really gonna solve our energy security problem anytime soon, assuming we even find a way around it. Pangatlo, I think we both agree. We will impeach any president. We'll advocate for impeach any president who compromises our sovereignty. So, siguro service contract, maybe. Let's see. But going back to this, Sir Ronald, what about Philippines dealing with Russia, buying oil from Russia, and also with Iran. Not only a deal supposedly in the Hormuz Strait, medyo komplikado yun kasi wala naman talaga tayong mga barko, 'di ba, containers. Mga ano nevertheless, the DFA, the DOE, even Senator Lacson, Gatchalian, Senator JV, I saw all of them are welcoming itong agreement with Tehran. What do you think about that, sir?
Well, una, may embargo ang US sa Russia hanggang April 11, no? Na-lift yung embargo hanggang April 11 at well, theoretically dapat babalik 'yan, yung embargo na 'yan. So, isa 'yan sa mga batayan, no, ng ating desisyon. Unless willing na tayo na umalis sa alliance sa US, no? Yun yung kwan.
Or
Ikalawa
apply
ay
special waiver. We can apply for special waiver. I remember back in the day, Japan, Korea used to do that when they were buying Iranian oil.
ayun, mas ang Russia talaga naman nagbebenta ng oil eh, even during the embargo sa India at saka sa China. Kaya nga hindi gumuho yung kanilang economy eh. Because two superpowers are buying from them in huge amounts, in huge amounts. Kaya tuloy-tuloy sila. Ang India nga, binibili yung kanilang oil using their Indian currency. Hindi petrodollars ang ginagamit. At pumayag ang Russia. Pumayag ang Russia. Kaya win-win ang India ron eh. Nakakuha na sila ng oil, tapos yung currency nila ang ginamit dun sa
Oh,
pagbili.
pero nagrereklamo yung Russia na they don't need enough. I mean, billions yung worth nun. Ayaw naman bumili ng Russia sa India ng mga products, di ba? They rather buy from somewhere else, right? Especially high-tech products. Wala pa naman ang India dyan.
Oh,
So,
lamang na lamang. Lamang na lamang ang India doon
panalong
sa
India doon, yeah.
business pa na yun. Business model na yun. I'm sure magreklamo ang Russia. Pero at that time, wala silang choice before the Iran war. No? Ngayon, tingin ko they can negotiate terms dahil isa sa tinamaan dito sa pagsara sa Strait of Hormuz is India. No? Basically, Asia yung tinamaan dito eh, sa Strait of Hormuz dahil mas papunta rito yung mga oil tankers na nabarahan dyan eh, na nabarahan dyan. Kaya ah, may rationing na ngayon sa Thailand. May rationing na sa Thailand. Even Malaysia, na may sariling supply ng oil, may malaking problema because their supply is not enough. No? Indonesia, kahit
Coal producer,
dati
ano.
coal-based ang kanilang electricity, ay gumagamit pa rin sila ng maraming oil. So buong Asia tinamaan. Siguro maliban sa Brunei. Maliban sa Brunei. Especially China. Kaya yung sinasabi ng mga kaibigan mong DDS na dapat daw nakipagkaibigan na tayo sa China para
Brunei, yung Brunei, yeah. Bulki.
para kapagkan tayo ng oil, eh kulang kulang na ang oil ng China para sa sarili nilang industries, no? Kaya malaki yung problema dito sa ating region.
Babalikan ko yung China and the issue of refineries, price caps, etc. Kasi mahalaga yan when we talk about economics. But what about yung Strait of Hormuz agreement supposedly na meron tayo? Although in fairness kay Secretary Garin, she said na let's manage expectations. Hindi ibig sabihin tapos ng usapan because risk factor is gonna be there for the long run.
Less optimistic ako ron eh. Especially pag nagsimula na yung ground war ng US, yung full-blown invasion, ang hirap mag-nuance ng mga dadaan dyan. Talagang lahat ng dadaan dyan, titirahin nila. Lalo na yung ating 98% kasi ng ating oil galing sa Middle East. At ang kadil natin dyan is Saudi Arabia. At Saudi Arabia, mortal na kaaway ng Iran. Kahit sabihin mo, uy, huwag niyong bombahin, lalagyan namin ng bandera ng Pilipinas, yung Saudi oil tankers. During a full-scale war, hindi ko alam paano gagawin yun, no? Yung ganong klaseng practical considerations
Meron
na
daw silang system eh. First of all, parang meron hostile, non-hostile, ganun. Tapos parang may cryptocurrency or renminbi. Like there's a parang QR code yata eh. Parang something
Yan
like that.
ngayon,
Yeah.
may ganong klaseng proposal. Bangladesh, alam ko yung Bangladesh lang yung may nakadaan eh. So far, di ba? So far. May ganong proposal for China, etc. No? Pero ang sinasabi ko, during a full-scale war, ang hirap ng ganong klaseng nuancing. no? Hindi ko ma-imagine na nagpuputukan all over the place, no?
I mean,
Tapos eh,
US fighter jet was just shot down.
parang sabihin mo, eh, ito pwedeng dumaan, ito hindi. Diba? Ito, tingnan nyo yung bandera, iba yung bandera niya. Yung gano'n. In a full-scale war, how can you do that?
So the
No?
midst of war will be a
Oh,
big
the
problem.
fog of war, no? Kaya less optimistic ako kaysa sa ating gobyerno. Sana mangyari, ha? Sana mangyari
Oh,
dahil
we're wishing. Ako, ang concern ko, Sir Ronald, this ang laki nung share ng seafarers ng mundo ay Pilipino eh. I'm concerned about yung safety ng ating mga kababayan who are actually manning practically all of these major fleets are
yes.
passing by. So even if we don't own any of them, basically our
Tuloy
people.
naman yung kanila eh. Tuloy naman yung sahod nila eh. No? Unless tumagal ng taon yung gera. Pero kung yan ay a few months, no? Tuloy yung sahod nila, which means makakapagdala padala pa rin sila ng remittances. Yung ating seafarers comprise more than 25% of the total seafarers of the world. No, tayong pinakamalaki. At ang ating seafarers, ang pinakamalaki ang contribution sa remittances. Matataas ang sahod nila eh. No, mahirap ang trabaho pero matataas ang sahod. Kaya kung tatagal yung gera by more than a year, then tatamaan yung ating remittances.
Basically yung Ukraine situation no ng quagmire na multi-year. May mga nagtatanong what about Houthis? Kasi actually, 'di ba Saudi Arabia is redirecting oil nila sa Red Sea, 'di ba? At alam natin yung Houthis have de facto control dun sa or at least de facto ability to shut it down
Yes.
yung Bab al-Mandab.
Titingnan mo,
Should we talk to
titingnan mo,
Houthis too?
yeah, during the Iran War, yung Houthis tahimik. No, they're gearing up eh. They're gearing up. They're preparing for this. No, titirahin nila 'yan, yung Arabian Peninsula. Kaya talagang ah, baka nga yung maiwan lang diyan yung Suez, no? At saka yung mga nasa land,
Gulf of Oman? Ah, yeah, yeah.
yung mga nasa land ng mga kwan. Unless bobombahin din 'yon, no? Yung mga pipes, yung mga oil pipes. Ah, hindi mo na alam eh sa isang gera. Ah,
Lalo kung Trump ang involved. Hindi mo alam kung saan
everything
pupunta to.
goes na yan eh. Bobombahin na ng US yung Kard Island, which is the 90% ng oil ng Iran ay nandun, 80 to 90%.
Terminal, export terminal. Yeah.
So, maraming tatamaan diyan. Tapos titirahin na rin ng Iran yung mga malalaking oil refineries sa Gulf. Ah, tinira na nga nila yung pinakamalaking natural gas plant
Qatar.
mundo. No? Sa buong mundo, that's the biggest. Hindi lang siya the biggest in the Middle East, that's the biggest in the whole world. So, unpredictable eh. Yung ano yan. Definitely, gusto ni Trump ng graceful exit. But to have a graceful exit, you need boots on the ground to control the Strait of Hormuz. And to control the Strait of Hormuz, you cannot simply occupy the islands in the strait. You have to occupy the 400-kilometer
Shoreline.
shoreline ng Iran. And to control the shoreline, you have to control the Zagros mountain range na for decades sa mga kuweba ron, nilalagay ng Iran yung kanilang mga missiles, yung kanilang mga artillery, etc. No? Parang kanyan, pag nakita mo yung Zagros mountain range, parang Afghanistan yan. Kahit bombahin
Ang
ng
hirap.
bombahin.
Tsaka may mga tribesmen rin, parang mga Pashtun na Afghanistan, may tribesmen, mga Bakhtiari, who I think
Yes.
there are pictures of them, random people, they're shooting down yung American rescue mission, di ba? Nag-shut down ng Iran yung F-15 fighter. So ordinary people were taking out guns talaga yung parang Afghanistan style and shooting it with their rifles. Yeah.
At itong mga sundalo ng Iran, especially yung mga older generation, lumaban yan sa Iraq with 1 million casualties.
In that area actually, in that border.
With a
Iraq.
million, wave upon wave ang labanan dyan. And they fought ISIS. They fought in Syria. No? Some of them even fought in Lebanon. So, hindi yan mga hindi yan mga pushover na soldiers na mga bago. Ngayon kasi sa Russia kasi, mga bago na yung kinukuha nila tsaka mga North Koreans eh. Naubos na yung
O
kanilang
mercenary lang. Tumakas lahat
naubos
ng
na,
Russians, di ba? Yung mga bata, ayaw nila sumali sa
oh,
gera.
naubos na. Kaya ayan, hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin ng US, no? The approval rating of Trump is going way below than any other president, any other president. Tapos
Kasi
yung
ang labanan dito is Trump versus Trump.
yes,
Anong
tapos may
record?
midterm election ka in November. 'Di ba? Midterm election ka kaya gusto nila maka-disengage before that, no? Pero to disengage, kailangan nila magpakita ng victory. Anong victory papakita mo? Ginulo mo buong mundo.
May World Cup pa, by the way, sa June. May World Cup pa. At my goodness, tingnan natin kung anong mangyari dyan. Kasi may matches yung Iran sa US. Of all countries sa US, nilagay yung opening matches ng Iran. So, it's gonna be complicated. Pag-usapan naman natin sa Ronald, balikan natin ito sa Pilipinas. Ang debate ngayon is yung sa excise tax, wealth tax, at saka regulation price caps, no? Um,
Mm.
I had Winnie Winsud dun sa Manila House Talk natin. It's now live on YouTube natin. People can check it out. Kay Ma'am Winsud, I think she's more for wealth tax kaya sa excise tax. We have other economists and people, experts going for excise tax kasi tingin nila sa excise taxes, this is hurting the poorest more. I think 400 pesos per head sa mga bottom percentile and around 700 to 800 lang sa top percentile. So, regressive basically yung excise tax. So, something has to be done about this. And then Bam Aquino, Senator Aquino, I supported him on him. He's pushing for some sort of price caps. I know, of course, basic economics theory tells you in supply demand. If you put an artificial, sa supply, it's gonna affect price, blah blah blah. But as we speak, I mean, first of all, we're not really a free market economy. Second, we really don't know how the prices are determined. Third, there are big questions about oil deregulation. Fourth, we already see Germany putting not price cap per se, but limitations on how many times you can change the prices per day. So in a way, it's some sort of not price cap, but at least kind of a price regulation or price shift regulation. And then there are bigger social justice questions about who should absorb the shock, bakit napapass down sa consumer yan. So Sir Ronald, in that light, medyo nagbardagulan yung mga kaibigan natin. So I've been very careful about engaging this debate. Not only criticizing BAM or defending BAM, but also kaibigan natin si Walden, kung sino-sino, nadamay na, nag-aaway-aaway na. New liberal ba masyado bang perspective natin sa economics? Kaya nandito tayo sa kalagayan natin kung saan we're almost hapless and helpless. Ang economists ba natin, especially yung mga more vocal economists ba natin, are they outdated in terms of their paradigm and missing the point about how economics operates in 21st century? Where do you stand on that, Sir Ronald? Because you're friend with everyone. Enemy to none, friends to all. May pagka-DFA ka rin, Sir Ronald. Eh.
Yun naman, marami pa naman mas marami akong kalaban kaya sa'yo. So, medyo lamang lang akong konti, no? Medyo lamang ka lang, konti lang. So,
Sa
well,
ranking ko, doon sa top 40 na listahan ni,
mas mataas ka kaya sa akin eh. So, pero mukhang kailangan tignan yan from the immediate, medium term, long term. 'Di ba? Ako long term kasi, tingin ko the neoliberal model is unraveling. So we have to find something na applicable hindi lamang sa ating bansa kundi sa ating region, no? Halimbawa, yung oil deregulation na 'yan, na bahagi ng neoliberal ethos ay meron basihan 'yan because of the corruption in government. Pero kung halimbawa, kung ako yung presidente, no, pwede nang tanggalin yung oil deregulation, no? Depende sa kanya eh. Kung halimbawa, manalo kami ni Manny Mugato, si Manny yung vice president ko, tapos ako yung presidente, easily, tatanggalin namin yung oil
I knew it.
deregulation.
Ipopromote mo talaga si Manny from defense
Kahit naman,
minister to
dahil
running.
madali, kung maganda rin yung pagpapatakbo ng gobyerno, hindi mo na kailangan yan. Dahil ang isang pinanggalingan yan ay hindi lang namang free market eh. It's about the efficiency and corruption of government. Yung dating OPSF, no, na
Yeah, but I have a problem with that framing, Sir Ronald. Parang basically ang idea dyan is, habang hindi pa naayos ang gobyerno, walang trabaho ang gobyerno.
hindi,
How are you gonna fix the situation? I mean,
sinasabi ko yan yung argument nila nung nag-oil deregulation. No?
okay. Yeah, but the
Sinasabi ko,
problem is that yun pa rin ang argument na narinig ko.
oh,
Wag na tayo mag-excise tax kasi ganito. Wag na tayo
nanggaling oil,
mag-inheritance tax kasi corrupt ang gobyerno. Wag na tayo
nanggaling
mag-regulate kasi corrupt ang gobyerno. Parang puro na lang ganun eh. Corrupt ang gobyerno, wala na tayong, anong gagawin natin? Umasa na lang tayo
Sabi
sa
ko
private
where
sector.
it came from. Where it came from. Kaya nga, half-jokingly, sinasabi ko, kung kami ni Manny Mogato ang gobyerno, no, it will be different from the old OPSF. No, yung gano'n. No? Ikalawa ay, ako mas nandun ako sa IBAT eh, rather than excise tax. No? Yung excise parang knee-jerk reaction yan eh. No? Pero yung mga yan ay dapat hindi sila tignan as standalone. Dapat bahagi sila ng isang package, ng isang package. Dahil ang habol mo paano ma-mitigate yung negative effects ng crisis eh. 'Di ba? Tapos ang unang salbo is the excise tax. Sa akin mas mabuti kung ngayong unang salbo ay yung IBAT, which was regressive in the first place. Eh, At saka mas malawak yung impact sa mga tao rather than the excise tax. No? Yun yung excise tax. Sasabihin nila, oh, san mo, anong gagawin mo dun sa lost revenues? Lost revenues na, well, maraming iba't ibang mga paraan para mapunuan yon. Pero yung iba't ay makakatulong na hindi mag-aaway ang labor at saka business. No? Usually kasi ang hirap magkaroon ng mitigation na unified lahat eh. Sa iba, tingin ko ma-unify lahat. Na tingin nila makakatulong sa business, makakatulong din sa consumers. More than the excise tax. Pero again, ang sinasabi ko, hindi siya dapat stand alone. Kwan siya parang habang pinag-iisipan natin, ano ba talaga yung problema ng ating economic system at maghahanap tayo ng mga long-term solutions, ano yung mga immediate na pwedeng gawin? Yun ang sinasabi ko. Ano yung immediate na pwedeng gawin?
Talaga,
No?
Sir Rob. Yung mga
That
MIT
can
na
be
naman
done.
natin kaibigan, sasabihin, ayan na naman si Sir Rob, fiscal expert na rin. No, no, I agree with the framing of timing and sequencing. People forget. Iba yung policy making mo kung short term, medium term, long term. I absolutely agree with you and it's a package deal. And I like that. Ang akin lang, Sir Ronald, ang problem ko ngayon is, um, parang na-stuck tayo dito sa mindset na, no, let the markets decide, the government's too corrupt, let not government touch things. But at the end of the day, people forget, at least yung gobyerno, in theory, should be accountable to us, not the private sector, not the market, especially in a system whereby you have privatization without real competition. You have
Mm.
oligarchy capture, you have state capture, basically, right? I mean, don't believe me, look at the World Bank assessments, look at the Brookings Institution. Ang taas
Oh,
ng state capture state capture means worse than regulatory capture. Ibig sabihin, even yung mga batas mo were framed in a way to benefit certain sectors na hindi yung civil society, right? So, in that system, Sir Ronald, does it even make sense for us to use standard uh,
wala, linawin ko.
market economic models here?
Well, linawin ko. Ang aking ideological mooring is more a mixed system. A mixed system. No? Yan yung aking ideological mooring.
Aristotelian.
Pero even within a free market system, no? Halimbawa sa Korea, free market naman yan eh. Pero the state was able to discipline yung mga chaebols, no? To go to the direction na pinagpasyahan ng estado, ng gobyerno. Even in Japan, no, yung mga zaibatsu was able to be disciplined by the state, no? Kahit free market yung kanilang sistema. Ibig sabihin, even within a free market system, iba yung ating free market, no? Iba yung ating regulatory capture. Halimbawa, in the immediate, we have a strong presidency eh. Tatawagan ko lang yung mga big players eh. Diyan sa ating oil industry. Uy, wag niyo namang ipasa sa consumer. Lahat itong increase sa price ng oil. Mag-absorb naman kayo dahil for decades you've been earning billions of dollars. Or else will make it difficult for you. No? Papapuntahin ko sa inyo ang BIR. Papuntahin ko sa yung BIR, talaga i-check lahat ng libro nyo, no? Et cetera, et cetera. They can give you problems. 'Di ba? Pwede
Against
mong
the
ganunin
shadow
'yun.
of, oy, baka
Oh,
pitikin,
anong
basically
sinabi ng
pitikan.
ng Korean government sa kanilang mga chaebols? No, gusto niyo bang maputol ang kuryente nyo? Gusto niyo bang maputol ang tubig nyo? Gusto niyo bang magkaroon ng problema yung mga kalsada nyo? The state can do that eh. No, pag ko lang sinasabi ko lang tactically tactically. No? Because the wealth, okay yung wealth tax, but it will have no effect in the immediate. It will take time eh.
O,
'Di ba?
i-corner mo pa, yan mo pa,
Mag-approve ng
yan.
batas are wealthy themselves eh. 'Di ba? Yung mag-approve ng batas mga partido ng mga wealthy. Kaya it will be a longer struggle. At kaya kailangan diyan na ang malakas na mass movement from below and a strong activist state from above para maging effective o at least maka first base yung wealth tax. No? So it will take time. So habang nandito ngayon tayo in the next few months, ano yung pwedeng gawin? The president can call the billionaires to chip in. Or you can threaten them with a carrot and stick. 'di ba? Yung itutulong nyo naman dito sa crisis, if one of you can, each one of you can give 1 billion, pwede nyo naman kanyan kanyan, tax deductible after nung crisis. Pwede mo naman sabihin sa kanya, but I need your billions now. So, chip in tayo. O, makaraise ka 100
Or
billion.
at least just share the price shock kasi especially kung binili yung
Yes.
stock mo galing pa dati na
Oo.
pre-crisis na sobrang mura and then ngayon immediately ipepeg mo sa spot market or yung susunod na bibilin mo. Parang it means totally you're not absorbing any shock. You're totally passing it to the broader economy and the consumers, which is
Ay, ito
bad for the country.
sinasabi, behind every great wealth is a crime. So, medyo didiinan mo lang yung crime na yon. Didiinan mo lang yung kanilang vulnerabilities. You're the state. You're the president in a system where the presidency is very strong. Use that. No? Use that. Kanya na tactical in the immediate. Iba yung iniisip ko na medium term.
Parang ano lang, ano lang, parang survival mode lang na ano,
Oo. Yun yung,
existential kasi to eh.
oo, halimbawa, yung mga GOCC mo has trillions of pesos. Hindi yan pwedeng pakialaman ng gobyerno. May decision na dyan ang Supreme Court eh. Pero ang gobyerno nag-a-appoint ng board niyan eh. Pwede mo lang bulungan eh. Pwede bang moratorium sa debt ng mga members ng SSS at saka GSIS? Pwede bang bigyan nyo sila ng calamity fund? No? Na dahil ito is a calamity, of vast proportions, di ba? So, pwede bang bigyan mo sila ng food allowance? Pwede, yung mga GOCC, pwede bang magbigay ng ayuda on their own? No, suggestion lang. Suggestion lang, no? Hindi nakikialam yung gobyerno dahil may sarili kayong charter. But we can, pwedeng bulungan yan dahil gobyerno nag-appoint ng mga GOCC ng mga board eh. So, trillions ang pondo niyan Ilang trilyon ang pondo ng SSS, ng Pag-ibig, ng GSIS, ng Land Bank, no, etc. So, ang sinasabi ko lang, a lot of things can be done
The
with the
informal levers of power. Yeah, informal.
formal as well as informal. Yung formal, yung ibat. No? Yung formal, yung 230 billion na disposable ng DBM. Yung formal ay yung 40 billion na calamity fund. Yung formal ay yung 13 billion na contingency fund. Yung formal ay yung more than 12 billion na intelligence at saka confidential fund. Yan yung mga formal. Pero marami pang informal na pwedeng gawin. Na ang sinasabi ko nga, if I were the president, ito yung gagawin ko. Because yung ating sistema has a strong presidential system.
Yun nga, for me, the least we can do is to enlighten, parang sabihin natin sa taong bayan, may ganitong mga posibilidad na kaysa doon lang tayo sa limited frame of yung distributional effect analysis and models effect na yan.
Pinagdidebatihan ng mga kaibigan mo.
Uh, I mean, we can do a lot of Mickey Mouse regression analysis, modeling, and all of that. Pero ito yung katotohanan, ito yung komplikasyon ng... Kaya nga sabi ko, dapat talaga interdisciplinary ka eh. Kung sociologist ka lang, or economist ka lang, or political science ka lang, tapos nakikita mo lang, it's like four blind men looking at four sides of the elephant, thinking each side is the whole universe, right? Kaya love na love kita sa Ronald kasi naka-drone ka eh. Naka-drone ka lang, bahala kayo dyan, basta ako drone lang ako. So kitang-kita mo yung buong
Pero
elephant, di ba?
sasabihin mo, economy is not sociological enough. Tapos sasabihin mo, sociologists are not economists enough. So,
Ako, I
these
don't want to get into that
are false
interdisciplinary fights. I'm
distinctions.
sorry, it's petty. It's too petty for me. Ang issue dito is public policy.
Naaway niya sa academy. Buti na lang, drop out ako.
I mean, my point is, it's too petty given like the stakes here, di ba? Kaya nga interdisciplinary talaga approach natin. Kaya gusto kita, Sir Ronald, kasi ano ka eh, Arnold, Associate Justice Ronald, interdisciplinary.
I deal with the real world. No?
In the real world. No, tignan mo, si Justice Carpio, nagiging katulad din natin, di ba? Dati very legalistic siya. Tapos ngayon medyo may konting marites na, may konting bardagulan. So nakita mo even si Justice Carpio na very legal, totoong legal luminary, di ba? Ano na rin, nag-adjust na rin ang messaging and ano.
Ano na,
Oh,
pagbabanatan ko siya sa party list, no?
ayan naman tayo, sir. Fairness behave ka when kasama tayo except nung isang time na parang tatlo tayo, apat tayo para nang bubulian kayong lahat. Sabi ko, delikado to. Na-repost ko nga yung highlight nun eh. Kasi relevant pa rin yung mga discussions natin. In fairness, classic naman. Now, sir, obviously for the long term, we have to push towards renewables. No, literally, I'm looking at solar panels here sa Lazada. Kung may mahanap ako. I'm thinking of solar panels at least dito sa probinsya and all na may lighting and all, may proper coming roofs and all of that. And then also, of course, yung refinery capacity, di ba? We're so dependent. We only have one refinery. What the heck? Anong klaseng energy security strategy
Kasama
yan?
pa rin yan doon sa kwan eh, doon sa yung oil deregulation law, kasama pa rin diyan yung OPSF na sobrahan ng kwan ng criticism dati, di ba? Yung nagbabago yung context eh, nagbabago yung kasaysayan. Kaya yung terms mo dati may not be the terms now, no? Kaya yung usapin ng corruption, kaya lumalabas dahil nakadikit yan dun sa pag-push for the oil deregulation. Iba rin yung pag-push ng
Ay,
IBAT, di ba?
corruption ng Marcos dictatorship. Talagang
Oo,
binaboy nila
di
yung
ba?
ano natin, fiscal
Mhm.
base. 100%, I understand the logic behind Ramos administration's privatization. But for me kasi the process of privatization itself, we were not sure 100% of whether it was an intact process. Parang ang ma-explain lang nun, yung corruption ng Marcos dictators is why we had to do it. But it doesn't explain, did we do it in the right way? Or was
Hmm.
it right at that time but not in the long run? Did we do adjustments? Ang dami mga questions na hindi sinasagot ng ganyang klaseng mga normal debates, no? Kaya na-appreciate ko, Sir Ronald, your perspective na beyond interdisciplinary, transcendental analysis, kumbaga, Sir Ronald. Emmanuel
Multi
Kant ang tawag ko sa'yo. Kantian, ano,
multiverse.
Einstein, ay, ano na yan.
Oh, dahil economics is also a large part psychology eh, di ba?
100%. Behavioral economics. It's a whole field in itself. Yeah.
Hindi siya just numbers crunching, hindi siya just mathematics eh, di ba? So lahat yan pala yan dapat i-merge mo siya into something ideological, no? Eventually it has to be ideological. Ah,
In a sense, may clear social purpose ka. Like, what are you
yes.
trying to really serve here? Exactly. In fairness naman, we see that in behavioral economics. In fact, top tier universities, the way they approach economics is very interdisciplinary. Like you have Kahneman and all of these great psychologists who contributed to behavioral economics. You have the institutionalist economics. Actually, yun naman yung medyo pushback ko kay Walden. I think the economics that he's criticizing is a much more pre-global financial crisis economics. And this is where naman I kind of agree naman dun sa isang kaibigan natin from Wollongong na you have to be fair na economics has also evolved. Ang akin lang naman is ang problem is economics here sa ating bansa. I don't think has evolved, right? So I think a lot of Walden's criticism are more applicable to Philippine context than really in the top universities in the world. At least based on my own experience of just talking to random economists and experts in some of these universities. In fairness naman, they look at different aspects and all. In fact, I've met many economists in Oxford or other places. They rather call themselves political economists because they also do sociology and political science aside from economics. Kasi alam nila, hindi mo pwedeng model-model lang ang based on questionable assumptions. Hindi mo nga naintindihan paano nag-operate ang estado tapos mag-modeling ka ng kung ano-ano. Alam mo, pwede mo na pagawa sa AI lahat yung modeling na yan. Madali.
Especially this state.
Exactly. But you have to understand how the state operates. You have to have a theory of the state, right?
Hmm.
Kaya nga,
Hmm.
yung argument ni Kotkin is the reason why Stalin became the ultimate architect of communism in the 20th century is because he understood bureaucracy in
Hmm.
ways Lenin probably never fully appreciated. Marx did not really go deep into. And importantly, of course, yung karabal ni Stalin na I don't want to go into the debate about Third International of that, but the theory of state is very important. Have theory of state, and unfortunately, I don't think at least sa Pilipinas sapat yung yung understanding ng bureaucracy and political development in the way that Sir Ronald Llamas understands it so viscerally as someone who's worked from within and from drone shot nga kung lahat ikaw drone shot ka. Last part of our discussion, sir.
Si
Yeah.
Piketty, I've read most of his books si Piketty. No? At
Just to be clear,
maganda.
each of his book is 1,000 pages, so that's quite
Yeah,
some.
yeah. Ideology is more than 1,000 pages, yung kanyang libro. No? Pero, marami ka matututunan. Pero hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung buong framework niya sa ating bansa. Ang pwede mo makuha ay yung kanyang mga chapters on inequality. No, yun tingin ko are very compelling para sa mga bansang katulad natin, no? Na institutionalize ang inequality. Kaya yun din ang ibig ko sabihin, yung mga iba nating mga kaibigan, hindi mo pwedeng isiksik yung nabasa mong libro,
Dito
ipagkasya
sa
mo
konteksto
sa
natin.
pigeonhole ng ating bansa, no? It has to be different lessons from different books, different ideas. Tapos
And
i-adjust
adaptable, yeah.
adjust mo, anong pwede dito? Ang bahagi nga niyan, trial and error pa eh. Dahil hindi mo pa naman nasubukan yan in concrete practice eh. Yung ganong klaseng mix. Ang sinasabi ko lang, kailangan ng mix, no? Which work, kailangan mapatunayan in practice, no? May pagka-trial and error. Sana hindi masyadong error, no? Pero it's a humbling experience eh. Mahirap yung napaka self-righteous ng mga nakikipagdebate na ito dapat, no? Ito dapat, no? Yung ganun ba? Kailangan ng konting humility to accept na baka pareho kayong kulang.
Oh, I mean, at best, we're all saying is that probabilistically, it's worth to try this new thing. But you
Hmm.
cannot assure that new thing will work 100%. Whether it's a war, whether it's a major economic policy, yun yung humility na kulang. But you'll never have that humility if magkakampo-kampo lang tayo, each camp thinking sila yung tama, tapos binabash yung kabila. Kaya I never want to get into this campist debates. Parang, it's too, ano for me, it's too
Hindi rin bagay sa akin na mag-call ng humility eh. Pero gagawin ko.
Transcendental humility ang tawag dyan, Sir Ronald. Ontological humility. You scream humility by being so self-deprecating. Last part, Sir Ronald. I mean, in the spirit of all of this discussion of interdisciplinary and all, where does this leave the Unipink? Yun na lang tawagan natin. In the conversation now as we head, as April na tayo, head.
Tingin ko there are positive developments. Hindi ko na lang i-specify kung ano yun. Baka maudlot pa eh. Pero compared nung mga
Baka maudot pa, tapos biglang makita ko sinabi mo sa kabilang chat.
compared nung mga nakaraang kwan, mga buwan, tingin ko may something emerging na more positive going into 2028. Hindi ko na sabihin, baka i-announce mo na naman. Tapos ipopost na naman ni Falsis tsaka kung
Just
sino-sino.
to
No?
be clear, I literally took your footage and made it a show. As in, literal, it's Ronald Llamas sa baba, nagsasalita, meron survey, ganito, ganyan. Wala akong sinabi. I just posted that, sir. And then now you're blaming me. I literally used you.
Doon ka sa presinto magpaliwanag. So yun, tingin ko, Resurrection Sunday bukas, no? Tingin ko merong resurrection na nag-unfold, no? Dahil yung labanan ngayon sa 2028 is about damnation and about redemption. Tingin ko ay may elements na pwede mong sabihin ay nandyan yung possibility ng redemption rather than damnation. Dahil a few months back, pwedeng ang dominant is damnation eh. Ah, ako, I can confidently say na in the next few months ay baka mas madagdagan yung redemption aspect. No? At maganda dahil Resurrection Sunday tomorrow. Yan yung kolong ko bukas eh. Basahin mo.
Di ba Monday ka, Sir Ronald? Sunday si Randy?
Sunday ako eh. So,
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Sunday siya. Sa Tagalog, every Wednesday.
ta-
Mm.
okay. So, iba pala yung Tagalog ba? Okay.
Gusto nila gawin kong daily. Sabi ko, hindi
So,
ko
kayong
kaya.
dalawa ni Randy.
Ko
Baka
karir
swap
yan.
ko na lang yung Sunday.
Sabi ko, hindi ko karir yan. Sabi ko, nahihirapan na nga ako sa grammar ko. Gusto niyo pa daily.
Yeah, but to end on this note, I mean, Maring Winnie was saying the other day na she was reassured by the ombudsman na by May, lalabas yung mga hinahanap natin, di ba? Yung mga nakakataas kilay na bagay. But I don't know, are we keep on shifting the goalposts? Kailangan ba natin do something drastic?
Well, baka by May kasi tapos na sa House eh, yung impeachment. So, pwede ka na magpakulong ng mga congressman. Pero magsisimula pa lang kasi yan sa Senate. So, baka wala pang makulong na senador. So, depende kung sinong big fish ang target mo. Perhaps a couple of cabinet secretaries, perhaps itong mga congressmen, no? DPWH, yan. Baka by May madagdagan. Pero I doubt kung merong mga senador
Oh,
na
wow.
masuhan dahil
What should we
magsisimula.
do? We should just accept it na wala na yung
No,
momentum.
no, no. Tingin ko it's about timing. It's
Hmm.
about timing. Again, tactical moment. Again, tactical moment. No? Pero tayo, we won't stop attacking. We
I
won't
mean,
stop.
trillion peso march, nasaan na siya? Where's that
Yan,
movement? Is that something
sinasabi ko lang, yan yung mga posibleng mag-unfold in the next few months sa usapin ng anti-corruption. Sa
right?
usapin ng anti-corruption. Pero matitindi kasi ngayon dahil halimbawa, onions. No? Meron tayong surplus ng onions. Bakit tayo nag-i-import?
Mm.
Ngayon yung mga onion farmers natin, they have to sell at a very low price, lugi sila. No? Lugi sila. So what's happening on the agriculture front? Ikalawa, balita ko, ang daming mga nag-expire na medicines. What happened? No?
Yung
Ba't tayo
story.
bumibili ng mga medicines na madaling mag-expire? Ba't hindi natin ma-distribute sa mga nangangailangan before they expire? No? So, ang tingin ko, baka makalimutan natin, maraming problema yung gobyerno. At they get away with it dahil nga, iba yung attention ng mga tao. Iba
Oo.
yung attention.
Walang
Pero tayo, dahil nasa kwan tayo, multiverse, multidisciplinary yung ating approach, wag,
transcendental.
wag natin kalimutan. Anti-corruption, anti-impunity, geopolitics, no? Ganito. I urge yung ating community na ipagpatuloy yung pagiging fiscalizer ng gobyerno dahil maraming mga problemang malalaki ang nangyayari habang may gera sa Iran
Sabay-sabay. Oh.
sa presyo ng oil, no? These guys are thinking they can get away with murder, no? Huwag natin payagan. Huwag natin payagan.
And sana mag-fuse yung dalawa, no?
Hmm.
In terms of yung Unipink at saka
Hmm.
etong kilusan para sa talagang tunay na pagbabago, no? Na hindi hindi budol.
Baka akala kasi nila dahil habang nagfo-focus tayo sa impeachment, habang nagfo-focus tayo sa ICC, et cetera, corruption, eh nakakalimutan na natin, meron tayong mga tao sa gobyerno na patuloy na nagnanakaw with impunity.
And a lot of profiteering, who knows, hoarding, ano nang kalokohan nangyari. Unfortunately, always moments of crisis are when the
Kailangan
fortune is
wag
of
mo
the weak
lang
works. Yeah.
isipin na we're not watching. We're watching you. We're watching you.
On that note, mabuhay ka, Sir Ronald. Of course, advance happy blessed Easter Sunday sa ating mga kaibigan and all as we of course anticipate the resurrection of Papa Jesus. Thank you so much, Sir Ronald, for giving your time to us. For and look forward to your reflective spiritual. Yun ang gusto ko sa iyo eh. Kahit ano ka, lefty ka, andun pa rin yung Catholic roots mo. I appreciate that. I think
Oh,
spirituality is something that holds us together in these difficult times. Very
recruit
important.
ako based on liberation theology in 1979.
So Brazilian ang ano mo eh.
Uh, by the priest who recruited me. Mga pari yung nag-recruit sa akin eh. Hindi naman mga katulad mo na mga intellectuals,
UP ako pa.
academicians, no, mga nag-recruit sa akin mga pare, no? I
Yeah.
was studying sa seminary ni Cardinal Tagle when he was a young priest. My first seminar on the national security ideology in 1979, sa kanya ko narinig. I was a volunteer sa prelature of Infanta under the legendary Bishop Labayan. I was recruited in Barrio Magsaysay in Tondo by no less than Father Romeo Intengan, who became the head of the Jesuits, no? Et cetera. So, medyo may kaunti akong, kahit mukha akong erehe, mukha akong prodigal son, medyo may kaunti akong
Ilang
introduction.
mukha eh. I mean, medyo may pagka-prodigal. But I mean, as in the Bible, the prodigal son could be always welcome back. Yeah, I mean, on that note, shout out, of course. I'm very happy also with Cardinal David, really
Yes, of
at the
course.
forefront, watching his interviews. Shout out also, I mean, to the Vatican for its very constructive, outspoken, humanistic stance on what's happening.
Nanto ni Pope si Hegseth.
Yeah, I mean, you
He was
see words
invoking the
like
Bible.
imperialism. I mean, you see the
He
Pope.
was invoking the Bible sa kanyang declaration ng offensive laban sa Iran, no? Kanina bago tayo nagsimula, pinaparin ko sa iyo yung pinupuri nila si Trump as the new Jesus Christ.
Right. No. I really appreciate what the Vatican is doing, and I think behind the scene, hopefully, the Vatican can play an important role here, in bringing about some peace. Because the Vatican has always maintained very robust relationship with all relevant actor in the Middle East in ways few other powers or few other sovereign states have been able to. So shout out to the Vatican for doing a very great job, and I'm happy with the popes. interventions, moral interventions here, and also, of course, happy with our own Cardinal David really stepping up. So thank you so much to you, Sir Ronald, to the Davids, and looking forward to reading your column for Sunday and continuing this discussion next week. Of course, abangan nyo rin yung episodes natin, studio episodes natin will be out also early next week para naman ma-enjoy din ni Sir Ronald ang
Hindi mo siya nag-out?
Hindi pa eh. Medyo, syempre, bakasyon eh. So, inedit pa and all. But I'll get it out. And hopefully, we can have one more studio next week before the end of the week. Kasi, there are many important things. But I know, Sir Ronald, you're also a very important person.
Maraming mangyayari next week.
Exactly. So, thank you for giving us...
Under the radar.
And
Shape 2028.
under the radar, but medyo mid-radar. Baka naman sa...
Hindi ko na-specify. Baka may mag-announce ulit.
Grabe. Ganun pa ang ano natin sa Ronald. Literally, ikaw yung pinost ko. Like, you say, wala akong dinagdag, walang bawas, walang dagdag. So, magpaliwanag ka na sa presinta talaga sa Ronald. God bless. Happy Easter Day, Sunday.
Happy Easter.
God bless po. God bless. Thank you so much.